Ang mga special children, sila yung mga bata na may mga special needs, um, na kailangan nating gabayan, kailangan tulungan ng mga iba't ibang members ng society, kailangan nila ng mga teachers na magaling na at makakaunawa talaga doon sa kanilang mga pangangailangan. Kailangan din nila ng tulong na medikal kasi yung mga special children, sila yung mga na-expose din sa mga medical problems na kailangan talaga nating pagtuunan ng pansin. So, hindi po nila kasalanan na sila po ay special children, ngunit kailangan po natin silang suportahan sa halip na husgahan.
Okay. Who are the children with special needs? As a teacher, we have a somewhat separate definition about these children. For when we talk about children with special needs, there are other branches that come in. Example, there are medical issues, psychological issues, neurological issues. But as a teacher, I will define special needs according to the 1991 UNESCO World Education Report, that these are the learners who have special education needs that take the form of one or more of the following. Number one, provision of special means of access to curriculum through A. Special equipment, facilities or resources. B. Modification of the physical environment. C. Special educational teachings or techniques. Number two, there should be provision of specialized or modified curriculum. And number three, particular attention to the social structure and emotional climate in which education takes place. A more specific way of categorizing children with special needs is grouping them according to the nature and extent of their differences or deviations from their typical, average, or regular peers as follows. There are 6. Number 1, intellectual differences. These include those children who have superior cognitive and those with Down syndrome and slow learners. Number 2, communication difference. Include those children with learning disabilities and those with speech and language disorders. Number 3, sensory differences. Include children with auditory and visual disabilities. Number 4, behavioral differences include children who are emotionally disturbed or socially maladjusted. Number 5, physical differences include those children with non-sensory abilities that impede mobility and physical vitality. Number 6, multiple and severe handicapping conditions include those children with combinations or impairments such as cerebral palsy and mental retardation or those deaf-blind. And being an educator or a teacher in our world or in our areas of learning, this includes also those children at risk, those who are victims of war, victims of dysfunctional families. They are also considered as children with special needs.
Siguro yung sa genes, siguro may doon, yung compatible ng yung both parents, yung compatible ng kanilang bloodline. Or nasa genes na
Kasi
tayo.
parang compared sa ibang tao, mas parang meron silang personal disabilities, tapos mas nakakailangan ng intensive care compared sa ibang.
Kailangan yung bigyan ng talaga importansya yung mga ganong things, mentally retarded.
Super active lang yung anak ko, and then makulit. Tsaka kung ano ba gustuhin niya, pero hindi naman siya yung nangaaway, depression.
So, bali, yung hilig lang po niya is electronics na. Yung pong mahilig siya magputing-ting.
Ilang cellphone na nasira niya, kakakuting-ting.
Okay po.
Ano, ADHD, yun yung mga batang hyperactive. Sila yung mga batang, hindi naubusan sila ng energy. Tapos, dahil yun dun sa genes nila, nag-baby pa sila.
Pag narinig ko po kasi yung ADHD, ang pumapasok po sa isip ko yung, ayun po yung mga children na sobrang hyper sa paglalaro. Tapos minsan, topakin din sila pag may mga problema sila. Yun, nagtatantrums din sila pag may mga problema.
Okay, what is ADHD or Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder? Just by the name itself, it is a disorder, meaning the brain has something to do with it. That's why if the child or if the person has ADHD, we cannot separate ourselves or myself as a teacher to the work or to the treatment or to the intervention given by a medical professional, namely a developmental pediatrician, a neuropsychologist, a neurodevelopmental pediatrician. Okay. In my 13 years of dealing with children with special needs, I believe that one of the forte of my personal advocacy is these children. While dealing with them every day or during the times of my teaching with these children, I would always recall people in the past whom I've known that has somewhat manifested this behavior later in life. And as I went through with my journey with these children, I've learned and I've studied that the core symptoms of the disorder are hyperactivity, 2, inattentiveness or easy distractibility, and the third is poor impulse control. Okay, from these core symptoms, we have 3 comorbidity or accompanying manifestations of behavior. Number 1, it becomes a developmental issue or problem when the person acquires dyslexia or dysphasia. At times, it becomes a psychiatric issue when not treated. Can have depression or anxiety problems, and it can have a neurological effect, that of a Tourette. Okay. In the last 5 years, we are now more aware of this condition, and we seldom misuse the word, and we oftentimes misdiagnose or misobserve a person. But being a SPED teacher and a regular teacher at the same time, and in my years of journey with these children, personally I have some remarkable notations or observations with these children. The behaviors are clearly manifested during the elementary years. Why? Because during the preschool years, most children tend to be dynamic. Most of them have short attention span. It's a prevalent behavior. Okay, but when the demands become higher, the level wherein the child needs to be sustained, be regulated with this behavior, long sitting, long working hours, these behaviors become evident. But what do we already know about this condition, about this disorder? Number one, persistent problem that may change its manifestations with development from preschool to adult life. Number two, interferes with many areas of development and function. Number three, if untreated, it predisposes the child to psychiatric and social pathology in later life. Number four, most importantly, it can be successfully treated and managed. So these are the realities right now that we know of. It's specifically number three, if we ignore the behavior or the need of the child, it will have a damaging effect on his later life. Or if intervention happen early in the life of the child, and the diagnosis from a specialist, we can know that this can be successfully treated and managed. Okay. Developmental trends by age, usually from children, motoric hyperactivity is normal, but as they age, this should be lessened. But for a child with ADHD, you would see a persistent hyperactivity in the child. It becomes more and more, he becomes more and more active. Aggressiveness heightens. There is low frustration, tolerance. The child becomes impulsive. He becomes easily distracted, inattentive, easily shifts from one activity to another. The child becomes easily bored, becomes impatient, and restless. These behaviors are very remarkable, and if the hyperactivity is really high, as early as grade 1, grade 2, grade 1, this can be noted. Okay. There are two symptoms domains. The first one, we can say that on the left side, let's make it as a visual presentation. Two main behavior: hyperactivity, impulsivity goes with that, and then the other one is inattention. Okay. Functional impairments or comorbidity. There will be effects in the school. Family becomes stress. Problems with siblings arise. Okay. That's in the home. Sorry, it's not in the home. What about in school? Academic difficulties, low self-esteem, underachievement because of the poor behavior. Okay. Social impairment heightens. Problems with friends. First, problems with self. Problems with friendship and relationship. Okay, so as a whole, for me generally, with my dealings with these children, ADHD is a behavioral problem. Inappropriate behaviors are always manifested, dictated by the brain because of that condition of the brain of an ADHD child that cannot be controlled without properly monitoring and giving the proper intervention and treatment.
Siguro kung ako magkakaroon ng isang anak na special child, actually mapalad ako kasi nauunawaan ko or natutunan ko na kung ano yung mga special children, sino yung mga special children, at ano yung mga pangangailangan nila. So sa tingin ko ang pinakamahalaga para sa mga magulang ay yung ma-inform sila sa kung ano yung mga problema ng mga special children. Talagang knowledge will empower the parents to be able to support their children with special needs. And then, syempre, pagka-inform ka na, kilala mo yung mga kakampi para matulungan ng mga batang may mga pangangailangang tulad ng mga special children. So, alam natin kung saang mga tipo ng schools sila dadalhin kasi sila may mga schools na talagang equipped para matulungan yung mga special children. May mga doktor din na specialista sa mga pangangailangan ng mga special children, yung mga tinatawag nating mga development pediatricians. Kasi, yun nga, nabanggit ko kanina, iba-iba yung mga pangangailangan ng special children, yung iba kailangan ng tulong para mas maging malakas yung kanilang pangangatawan, mas maging makontrol nila yung kanilang mga behavior at iba pa. So, napakahalaga talaga na alam natin bilang mga magulang yung kung sino yung mga lalapitan dahil yung mga pangangailangan po ng special children ay kaya hong tugunan. Hindi po ito mga problemang wala pong sagot o na hindi ho natin sila matutulungan. So, yun lang.
My mama told me when I was young, we are all born superstars. She pulled my hair and put my lipstick on in the glass of her boudoir. There's nothing wrong with loving who you are, she said, 'cause he made you perfect, babe. So